Hey you guys, I'm making a really quick video. Just want to say that you have telepathic connections with your loved ones, love interests, and things like that. So just be aware when you have a splitting headache out of nowhere. You think it's not like a regular headache. It's centralized. It has a focal point. Sometimes it's in the third eye and things like that. There could be a blockage there, but at the same time, somebody could have ruminating thoughts about you and it'll manifest on your end. That goes with pain, sharp pain in the heart, and you think, oh, maybe I'm having a heart attack, or maybe that's gas. You know how people think they're having a heart attack when it's gas trapped or something, but it's a different feeling. It's not purely physical. You could be like, damn, my head is thumping, but you're not in the actual pain of a headache. It's someone else. In the Nine of Swords, thinking, overthinking. They could be coming at you with the Knight of Swords energy, thinking how they want to cuss your ass out, or they have anxiety about a certain situation. Now, it's been happening to me all day, right? Because I got insights on a specific situation. But not only is a person from the past constantly thinking about me, but there's someone in my midst that's doing wrong. And there's a lot of guilt behind it, and I can feel the ache associated with it. Like when somebody does you wrong, they feel hurt too, whether we like to admit it or not. So just be aware that sometimes you have these bodily aches that don't belong to you. It's someone else who's feeling pained, and you're feeling it energetically because you're linked to this person. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Just be mindful. That's why paying attention to your body is so vital, because it will alert you to what's yours and what's not. Once you know yourself, I shouldn't have woken up and, went to work on Thanksgiving and had this persistent pain. It was like a pressure. It wasn't a pain like, oh my gosh, my head is thumping, or sensitivity to light. It wasn't mine. It was someone else's feeling of mental anguish. Especially when people know they're about to do something and they think it and think about it and fear and all those things manifest in the physical. So even if they're not particularly feeling it, the reason why I know where it came from, because this particular person, I meditated to alleviate the pain, to get the pressure off my head, to kind of figure out and sift out where it was coming from. I actually asked for the source to be revealed. So I had the Quiet Sleep app on, and when I came out of my meditation, I looked at my phone and there was a message from this particular person, and the pain, it was dull at that moment, but it was still there. The person thought I was ignoring them, and that wasn't the case. I was meditating. I was really trying to figure out where this pain came from. And when the person was like, man, you don't want to hear from me, I said I was meditating. And I sent another message. I want to hear from you. The pain intensified times 10. The thoughts must be running just constantly through this person's head. Whatever they got going on, it's a lot of anguish and a lot of fear connected to it, and I could feel it. And then when I mentioned that my head had been thumping since Thursday, you know, what's wrong? And I said, I don't know, but someone's got me on their mind really heavy. This is pain. I got the notification that the message was read, and the pain stopped. It's not strong at this moment, but I can still feel it. So knowing what this person is doing at the moment, the thoughts won't leave them. Therefore, the pain won't leave me. It's just not as strong as when this person was, had a clear schedule and doing whatever. At this moment, it's still there. The pain is still there. The thoughts are still there. But there's something else that takes precedence. Pay attention to your body, how you function, what's yours and what isn't. Because a lot of the ailments, you may have neck aches, and what's weird, not weird, but this particular part of the spine that is bothering me, I don't have any history of it, being injured there. I have a bulged disc in my lower back. That's not bothering me. It's something much higher. And this person in particular was involved in a car accident and has had pain in this very specific spot. So that's how I linked the pain that I'm feeling associated to the pain I was feeling, to the pain that I felt. So, like I said, not all the pain that you experience physically, or what we think is physically, it could just be energetic, and it's coming from another source. Sometimes you're like, oh man, my stomach hurts or this or that, and somebody else's stomach could be in knots. I've had an experience where, a very, very dear friend of mine walked into the room, and she was upbeat and she was her usual self, but my stomach was in knots. My solar plexus was knotting up on me, and I kind of keeled over. It was painful, but it wasn't pain. It wasn't a physical pain. It happened twice in one night, and every time she left the room and came back, I could feel this pressing pain in the pit of my, not in the pit of my stomach, but like underneath my bosom. Like, it just had me, like I said, tense and in knots, and I kind of keeled over, and I asked, I said, what's wrong? And that's when she and I realized that we had that energetic connection, that we were telepathically tied, and that our energies were tied in that way, because I could sense her pain. I could feel it in my own being, and it wasn't a physical one. It was an energetic one and an emotional one. So please pay attention to the cues that your body is giving you. You know what I mean? Throat, head, especially the head, ears, the heart, definitely. Okay, well, I'm having some sharp pain and it really hurts you, get that checked out. This is not a replacement for medical professional advice. I'm only giving you the spiritual part of some of this shit people are going through. And they go to the doctor, oh, I can't get rid of this migraine, but yet they left somebody who was a narcissist that can't get them off their head, can't get them off their mind. Sometimes that's the cause. Another example, I had a very, very good friend of mine. She was releasing someone from her life, and he could not take no for an answer. And because of that, he was very angry and very spiteful. So I could just, every time I worked in this person's presence, he had a lot of anger towards her and a lot of, nasty, foul language at the tip of his tongue with her name associated to it. And he was really adamant about, he used his pain with resentment and, just, it was so foul. And I remember her texting me one day telling me how she woke up and it felt like somebody hit, split her head in two, that her head was pounding so badly. And it just so happened this person was really speaking ill of her and really, really saying some nasty things. So be aware that somebody may have you on the tip of their tongue and really speaking down about you, or you have to know what these emotions feel like to decipher which ones they're experiencing and who it's connected to. Because sometimes you can't figure out where it's coming from, but sometimes it feels familiar and you don't understand. So yeah, that's what this video is about. I'm gonna tell him right now, don't do that. Don't feel sorry now. No remorse, no regrets. Do what you're gonna do and do it full-heartedly. Like, don't regret what you're doing. Don't feel bad about it. Don't feel remorseful, because that means you shouldn't be doing it. So on that note, y'all have a good night.